What's up, YouTube? Timus here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10, 20, and even 30 this week. All right, here are the films that all celebrate its big 1-0. We got the Sylvester Stallone action movie Bullet to the Head. Now, Bullet to the Head stars Stallone along with Fast and Furious stars Sung Kang. You also got Jason Momoa. This movie, I like Conan the Barbarian, but this movie made me more become a fan of Jason Momoa. Like he, of course, played the bad guy in this, and he played the bad guy perfectly here. And the movie was, of course, directed by Walter Hill, who directed the classic movies like The Warrior. What else did he do? I believe he did one. I think he did one of the Beverly Hills Cop movies. I could be. Oh no, he did 48 Hours. I always get those Eddie Murphy action movies mixed up sometimes. Now, this is actually based on a comic book here, and if you guys don't know much about the story here, it follows a hitman played by Stallone and a cop played by Kang, who are forced to work together to bring down a corrupt businessman after they are targeted by their assassin. And you also had Christian Slayer in this, a fight scene between Stallone and Momoa. That is maybe one of my favorite fight scenes. I mean, sadly, this movie did not do so well when it got released. Let me put the box office for Bullet to the Head. Yeah, this thing only made about Bullet to the Head box office 22.6 million. It did not do so well, and it's a shame too. This movie also came out like a month after another Arnold Schwarzenegger fought, which was The Last Stand, and really showed that like at the time, really showed that even Stallone and Schwarzenegger, their names alone are not box office draws as they used to do back in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, which is disappointing because this movie was awesome. I had a fun time with it. The action was great. It's such a shame we'll probably never see a sequel to this, but maybe we'll see a home video sequel, I'm guessing. But yeah, we're probably never going to get a sequel, an actual theatrical sequel. But anyway, also turning 10, we got Warm Bodies, the zombie romantic comedy that focuses on the development of the relationship between Julie, played by Teresa Palmer, a young woman, and R, played by Nicholas Hoult, of Zombie, and their eventual romance, causing R to slowly return to human form. Now, the film also features Rob Corddry, Dave Franco, Corey Hardwick, John Malkovich. This movie was actually really decent. I thought this was a really cute, charming film. I remember seeing the trailer for this. I was like, okay, what the heck is this? A zombie romance? Really? But it was a huge surprise. I did not expect you to enjoy this movie as much. Directed by Jonathan Levine, who also did 50/50. He also put out that Seth Rogen Christmas comedy the night before. Really cool director. He's also doing the Dirty Dancing sequel too, so there's that as well. But yeah, if you guys have not really seen Warm Bodies, give it a go. It is a really decent film worth checking out. All right, also turning 10, we got Stand Up Guys, which stars Al Pacino, Christopher Walken, and Alan Arkin. And it's where, after serving 20 years in prison for accidentally killing the son of a crime boss, newly paroled gangster Val, played by Al Pacino, reunites with his former partners in crime, Doc, played by Christopher Walken, and Hirsch, played by Alan Arkin, for a night out on the town. As the dream men visit old hunts, reflects their glory days, and tries to make up for lost times, one wrestles with a terrible quandary. Doc has orders to kill Val, and time is running for him to figure out the way to out this dilemma. And this movie is actually really good. I mean, it's directed by Fisher Stevens. The three leads, I mean, these are three legends working together. I thought was really awesome to see. So, yeah, Stand Up Guys sadly did not do so well either. I mean, very underrated little film. So definitely give this one a go. All right, now the film's turning 20. Holy cow, I can't believe these are 20. We got Final Destination 2, the movie that makes lots of people never want to never want to drive behind a truck full of logs. That's right, people. Final Destination 2, of course, a follow-up to Final Destination, which came out like 2 years prior. Here you got AJ Cook, who plays Kimberly, who has a premonition of a horrible highway accident, killing multiple people, including her and her friends here. And she blocks like the cars behind her on the ramp from joining traffic. and as like a police trooper played by Michael Landis, arrives. The accident actually, of course, happens here. I mean, the kills in this thing are really cool. Final Destination was nowhere near as good as the first film, but I still enjoy it. I really do love this franchise. They are really fun, and they're really something that you never really seen in horror movies beforehand. It's not like a killer going around killing people. It's just like death that's actually doing the killing, which I think is really cool. Of course, we are getting another Final Destination sometime. I don't know when, but yeah, I really had a fun time with Final Destination. Then, of course, it will go on. We will go ahead and have part three, as well as two more. So yeah, hopefully the next one will be as good. All right. Also turning 20, we got Biker Boys. Now this was pretty much Fast and Furious on bikes. That's what. Of course, this came out at the height of the first Fast and Furious movie, and it stars the likes of Lawrence Fishburne, Derek Luke, Megan Good, John Hansoon, Rick Gonzalez, Terrence Howard was in this, Kid Rock, Lisa Bonet, Vanessa Bell Calloway. And if you guys don't know much about the story here, it is about like a group of underground motorcycle drag racers and the intense rivalry between a legendary motorcyclist and a young racing prodigy here who has formed his own bike club. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the first Fast and Furious, but it is a fun film worth checking out. It is very dumb action fun. It's really entertaining. I mean, you don't see many awesome bike-based films, and this is a really cool one to check out. All right, also turning 20, speaking of Al Pacino, turning 20, we got The Recruit. Directed by Roger Donaldson, who's best known for directing Dante's Peak, 13 Days, No Way Out. And here you got Al Pacino teaming up with Colin Farrell, who of course at the time became a rising star, in the business. And of course, this was like, pairing Colin Farrell with a legend like Al Pacino was a dream to see. And here you got Jamie Clayton, who is one of the top prospects in the new crop of CIA recruits, and his intelligence and unconventional attitude attracts the attention of veteran Walter Berg, who squares him through the agency's difficult training courses here. And this is actually a really fun flick. I mean, Roger Dawson is a really cool director. He's done some really cool movies over the years. And Al Pacino and Colin Farrell teaming up was intriguing. You also have Brendan Monahan was also in this. Really cool action film. You guys haven't seen that. I mean, it's also something how like Al Pacino does so many films like late '90s and 2000s where like his co-star is actually the one that becomes even better. That actually ups act to him. Whether it's Russell Crowe from The Insider or whether it's Robert Williams in Insomnia. I mean, that's some right there. But anyway. All right. Also turning 20, we got The Groove. Now, this is a 2002 sex comedy directed by Daisy von Schroeder Meyer. And it centers on a dance teacher who comes to the U.S. from India to pursue a normal career, but stumbles into a brief high-profile career as a guru here. I mean, of course, you had Heather Graham. You had Marissa Tomei was in this. This movie's horrible. This is probably not as bad as, let's say, The Love Guru that Mike Myers did, but it is still pretty bad. I mean, it shows that you maybe don't name your movie Guru because it's probably not good if you have Guru in your name, but yeah. And Heather Graham, of course, she did these type of roles before, obviously, she tried to find the success after Boogie Nights, and here we are there, but anyway. Now, the film's turning dirty. Holy cow. Boy, I was even 1 year old. I was just zero. I want to be 1 year. Man, when these movies came out, I was the 30-year one, that is. I was still a baby when these 30-year ones got released. I mean, holy cow. Here's the 30-year one. Sniper, which is an action movie that stars the likes of Billy Zane, Tom Berenger. And if you guys don't know much about the story here, it's more like during a mission to kill phenomenon rebel Miguel Aris, veteran American sniper played by Tom Berenger, loses his partner Doug Havtush to another assassin's bullet, and his replacement sharpshooter Richard Billy, played by Billy Zane, who is a who's more high ranker here. And of course, there's actually a couple of other sequels to Sniper. The sequels are not so good, but the first Sniper is a really cool '90s style, like '90s action film. It's not one of the best '90s action movies, nothing like that. But it is really fun to watch. It's definitely nowhere near as good as, let's say, True Lies or anything like that. But yeah, Tom Berenger. I mean, he mostly does like home video movies nowadays. But Tom Berenger was awesome in this. So Billy Zane was great. Boy, whatever happened to Billy Zane? Like, yeah, it's a shame that Billy Zane doesn't really do as much as he used to. But anyway, all right. We also got Matinee, which takes place in 1962 and was directed by Joe Dante, who's best known for directing movies like Gremlins. He also did. What else did Joe Dante do? Oh, yeah, Smart Soldiers. He's done some really cool movies over the years. But anyway, it's sort of like in October 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis occurs, and the menace of nuclear war looms over the American South. Low-budget filmmaker Lawrence Woodsley, played by John Goodman, is in Key West for debuting his new film, man. And thanks to the prevailing mood of fear surrounding the premiere is perfect to stir up some excitement. So you have a group of local teenagers who prepare for the film's opening night, experiencing one small crisis of his own. This is a really fun film. I mean, John Goodman, of course, coming, at the time he was pretty much a bigger TV actor thanks to Roseanne, and John Goodman is so good in this. He's really hilarious. Joe Dante is always great. So yeah, really good film if you guys haven't seen that. All right. We also got Nemesis, which is like a American punk action sci-fi film. That was actually directed by the late Albert Albert Pond, who of course is was a big time director. He's done stuff like the Nemesis movies. He's done Cyborg, R.I.P. Really intriguing filmmaker there. Nemesis is more of a guilty pleasure. It's not a great film, but it is pretty entertaining, nonetheless. If you guys don't know much about the story here, it's set in the near future world populated by androids, and it centers on Alex Rain, played by Oliver Grunner, who's a cybernetically enhanced ex counterterrorism operative charged by his former employers with assassinating his former lover here. So yeah, it's not a great film, but it definitely is a really cool, nice based sci-fi action film. Worth checking out if you guys haven't seen that. All right. Also training there, we got Homeward Bound: An Incredible Journey, which is a dog-based film, which features the voices of Michael J. Fox and Sally Field, where before the Savers leave for a family vacation to San Francisco, they drop off their pet, Chance, voiced by Michael J. Fox, an adventurous American bulldog, Shadow, voiced by Don Amage, a wise golden retriever, and Sassy, voiced by Sally Field, a cautious cat at a family's ranch. But when the animals start to worry that they've been left for good, the three embark together on a treacherous and thrilling journey to find their way back home. And this is a really touching film. I remember seeing this one as a kid. It is really a treat. Of course, the animals all had some good chemistry here. It was very touching, heartbreaking. I always like '90s was a really cool year for animal based movies, whether it's something like Babe, Free Willy, and Homeward Bound is an awesome one if you guys haven't seen that. All right. And last but not least, Turning Dirty. I don't know why I put this here, but why not? Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice. Of course, the new Children of the Corn actually comes out this year, so I'm like, okay, I'll talk about this one. It's where like a tabloid journalist and his estranged son encounter a cult of murderous children under the spell of the cornfield demon. Now, the first Children of the Cornfield is an 80s horror classic, based on a book by Stephen King. It's awesome. The sequels that came after it, that's a whole new level. I mean, they're even as bad as the Hellraiser movies. And Children of the Corn 2 is one of them. This is a horrible sequel. It's just not all that scary. It's just really dumb. I mean, yeah, it's a shame too because Children of the Corn has a really cool premise, and you could definitely do something really cool with other sequels. But yeah, hopefully maybe the new Children of the Corn movie could be good, but we'll see. But that's pretty much it. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films did I action the most? The 10-year one, I'm gonna go with Bullet to the Head. That's actually my favorite on that list. The 20-year one, Find the Snakes to Chew, and the 30-year one, I'm gonna go say Snipers. Oh no, actually Snipers good, but I'm gonna go with Homeward Bound. That's actually a childhood favorite of mine, so I gotta say Homeward Bound. Anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Himmy signing off.